Prince Harry walked into that closed-door Invictus meeting, something felt off. Not tense, not awkward, but calculated. Because this wasn't just another routine board discussion. This was an emergency. A $55 million emergency. And for the first time since he founded the Invictus Games, Prince Harry wasn't being welcomed as the face of the movement, he was being questioned as the problem.
If I was Invictus, I would just think, enough. When are we going to focus on what you're actually coming for? And what's going to be interesting is, and mark my words on this, is this now a private visit? Who's funding this visit? Because if they're being funded via that particular charity, one might suggest they're not getting their money's worth.
While King Charles is quietly counting down the days, hoping Prince Harry might return, even briefly, to reconnect with family, behind the scenes, everything is collapsing faster than anyone expected. Because what was supposed to be a symbolic visit, a moment of healing, suddenly turned into a storm of accusations, whispers, and one question echoing through that boardroom: where did the money go? And why is Prince Harry at the center of it? And then comes the timing. The royal family gathers in Scotland. King Charles is there. Prince William is there. The senior working royals stand united, composed, focused, a private dinner the night before. A deeply emotional moment tied to Princess Diana's birthday. A moment that should have brought everyone closer. But Prince Harry isn't there. And that absence, it doesn't feel accidental anymore. It feels strategic, or worse.
Remember, that is what Diana always wanted. She always wanted the spare to be there in support of the heir. Yet he's turning it all into a nightmare, and what could have actually been a very lovely celebratory dinner.
Forced, because while Prince William stands in public, honoring legacy, carrying duty, something very different is unfolding behind closed doors miles away. The Invictus board isn't celebrating Prince Harry anymore. They're reportedly confronting him, quietly, directly, and from what insiders are hinting, aggressively.
What we have with Meghan and Harry is this endless battle of self-pity and victimhood, and it's not going well, and all of this sort of stuff, And now Harry, as we know, is still battling on, creating headlines.
And here's where it gets uncomfortable, because this isn't just about one meeting. This is about a pattern where Prince Harry's personal battles are bleeding into something much bigger. His legal fights, his security demands, his constant tension with the system he once represented. All of it building pressure until now the Invictus Games themselves are caught in the middle. Then the conversation shifts. Security, always security. Prince Harry wants armed protection, not private security, not standard coverage, armed police. The same level reserved for King Charles, Queen Camilla, Prince William, and Princess Catherine. But the system says no, again and again. And yet, Prince Harry pushes back harder each time. The committee reviews everything: intelligence, threat assessments, real risks. And still, the answer doesn't change. No credible threat, no justification. But Prince Harry doesn't stop. His team prepares a detailed report, expensive, extensive, and controversial. Because critics start asking something uncomfortable: is this about safety or something else entirely? And suddenly the Invictus board is watching all of this unfold. Every headline, every court battle, every contradiction. And now, reportedly, they're asking the question no one wanted to say out loud: is Prince Harry becoming bigger than the mission itself? Because Invictus was never supposed to be about him. It was about veterans, recovery, strength, purpose. But now the spotlight has shifted. The narrative has shifted. And inside that emergency $55 million meeting, the conversation isn't just about funding anymore, it's about control. And then comes the criticism. Sharp, unforgiving, relentless. People start connecting dots. His global travel, Portugal, Ukraine, public appearances, crowds, no incidents. And yet, the UK is being framed as uniquely dangerous. It doesn't add up for many observers. And when things don't add up, pressure builds. Quietly at first, then all at once. Meanwhile, Meghan Markle enters the conversation again. Always just slightly off-center, but never fully out of it. Her decisions, her absence, her refusal to return, the Suits reboot moment, a simple cameo declined. But people don't see it as simple. They see it as another signal, another choice that doesn't align with the bigger picture. And suddenly, inside that Invictus meeting, it's not just about Prince Harry. It's about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, their brand, their influence, their unpredictability. Because here's the uncomfortable truth insiders are starting to whisper: sponsors are watching closely, and not all of them them are comfortable anymore. By the time that emergency Invictus meeting reaches its peak, the tone has completely shifted because this is no longer about quiet concern. This is about visible pressure, the kind that builds behind closed doors until it can't be contained anymore. And insiders are now suggesting that Prince Harry didn't walk into that room as a founder being celebrated. He walked in as someone being evaluated. And the most uncomfortable part, the timing is not random, because while Prince Harry is dealing with this internal confrontation, Prince Harry is also walking straight into another storm, a legal storm, one that has been building for years, one that now threatens to explode right in the middle of everything else. The case involving Associated Newspapers, the Daily Mail, the hacking allegations, all of it reaching a critical point at the exact same moment Invictus is under scrutiny. And suddenly, everything starts to collide. The board isn't just looking at finances anymore. The board is looking at risk, reputation risk, stability risk, leadership risk, because every headline attached to Prince Harry now doesn't just follow Prince Harry, it follows Invictus. And that's where the real tension begins, because Invictus was built as something pure, something focused, something that stood above royal drama. But now critics are saying the opposite. They're saying the drama is becoming the headline. And when that happens, the mission gets lost. And then another layer drops. Veterans, not just stories, real people, real consequences. Names like Scott Snow start surfacing, bringing attention back to what Invictus is supposed to represent, but instead of clarity, it adds more questions. Questions about support, questions about communication, questions about whether the spotlight has shifted too far away from the people it was meant to serve. And inside that boardroom, those questions don't just sit there. They grow, because every unanswered message, every public criticism, every moment where Prince Harry becomes the story instead of the veterans, it builds a case. Quietly, relentlessly, and then comes the comparison no one inside that room can ignore anymore. Prince William. Prince William moving forward. Prince William showing up. Prince William engaging with the public without the same level of chaos. And right alongside Prince William, Princess Catherine returning step by step, showing resilience, appearing at Wimbledon, connecting with people without controversy following every move. That contrast, it doesn't stay outside, it enters the conversation. Because boards don't just look at numbers, boards look at perception. And right now, perception is shifting. Some people inside that discussion are reportedly asking a question that would have been unthinkable just a few years ago. Is Prince Harry still the right face for Invictus? Or has the narrative around Prince Harry become too unpredictable to manage? And once that question is asked, it doesn't go away. At the same time, another layer of pressure starts building from outside, Hollywood. Because while Invictus is dealing with internal tension, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are dealing with a different kind of silence. The kind where names like Oprah, Tyler Perry, and Gayle King are no longer as visible in support. The kind where Netflix projects stall, where Pearl gets canceled, where Live to Lead doesn't carry the impact expected, where momentum starts to slow. And when momentum slows in one area, it affects everything else. Because now the Invictus board isn't just dealing with the founder, they're dealing with a public figure whose entire ecosystem is under scrutiny at the same time. Legal battles, security demands, media backlash, entertainment setbacks, it all connects. And then the financial question comes back louder than before. $55 million. Whether it's perception, speculation, or internal concern, that number doesn't disappear. It sits there, heavy, unanswered, creating pressure that demands clarity. And when clarity doesn't come fast enough, boards act, not emotionally, strategically, and suddenly conversations about restructuring don't sound extreme anymore. They sound practical. Conversations about limiting roles, shifting visibility, redefining leadership, they start to feel necessary. Because the one thing every board fears is losing control of the narrative. And right now, the narrative feels like it's slipping. At the same time, Prince Harry is standing on the edge of something else entirely. A possible return to the UK under circumstances that are anything but stable. A court decision looming. Family tension unresolved. Security still denied. Public opinion divided. And now, the Invictus board watching closely. Because whatever happens next, it won't stay contained. If the court ruling goes against Prince Harry, the pressure multiplies. If the Invictus questions continue, the scrutiny deepens. If sponsors hesitate, the consequences become real. And suddenly, that emergency meeting doesn't feel like a one-time event anymore. anymore. It feels like the beginning of a shift where Prince Harry is no longer untouchable within Invictus, a shift where Prince Harry's role is no longer guaranteed, a shift where the institution he built might be preparing to protect itself, even if that means stepping away from the very person who created it. And the most unsettling part? No official statement, no confirmation, no clear answers, just silence. The kind of silence that usually comes right before something breaks. Because now the question isn't whether Prince Harry was confronted in that meeting. The real question is what happens after the confrontation, and whether Prince Harry saw it coming at all.